Welcome back to the 24th Florida NBA Finals are finally here, and it's on our network, ABC 25. Well, the Knicks and Spurs will battle for the Larry O'Brien.
Yeah, first game Wednesday night, obviously. Going to be at San Antonio. And right now, I think the Spurs are like a 54-58% chance to win right now.
Win game one or win the series?
Win game one. They're just going to game at a time.
Yeah, and while most of us spent the season trying to figure out who would get here, one of our regular contributors says he saw this matchup coming all along.
That's right. I mean, I said that, in early April, I would say, and before the playoffs even started, we had a segment, again, on here asking, what teams we thought would come out the East and the West. And I'm not going to say that you guys said I was crazy, but I thought that, the Spurs were a very strong team. Not just Wemby, but if you look at that cast, I mean, with Harper coming off the bench, that team is a very strong team, and they play the game the right way, as you know.
I had the Thunder coming out of the West. I really did. I had the Thunder coming out, and I just thought the Spurs were still too young in playoff experience. That might get the best of them. Plus, you got SGA, who's the MVP, returning MVP. You just felt like that Thunder team had just enough edge to take over San Antonio, but apparently not, because Chet Holmgren doesn't believe in showing up for game sevens.
Oh, come on. Well, yeah.
Call me a liar.
Do we want to give any excuses to the Thunder for Jalen Williams and A.J. Mitchell?
No, you don't need it.
Top two guards. That's their two guards.
You lose by a couple of points, and one of your main stars shoots the ball 4 times an entire game, or 2 times an entire game, whatever that number was.
Wemby.
He was running scared. The one time he tried to go score, he fell down on his butt and then passed the ball. He didn't want the smoke. So no, the guys on the bench didn't lose the game for him. The dude playing the game who didn't want to play lost the game.
It's definitely weird to see because they've been there before and they've won. So you don't really see that with teams that have been there and they've won. Chet, 4 points. I mean, this is. Everybody watching this, you look at Twitter, you look at, Facebook, Instagram, and all of the kids just saying, they're paying this guy, more than $200 million, almost $300 million.
It's a $300 million contract.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. I'm not a Chet fan. I'm not trying to be a Chet apologist.
It should never happen at that level.
I just know that sometimes people played not their best in the bright lights.
Well, listen, if you told me he was 2 for 15 and scored 4 points, I'd say, okay, he just didn't shoot well. He shot the ball 4 times.
Wemby does that.
In an entire game. Wemby didn't play the whole game. Chet was out there when Wemby wasn't out there. He shot the ball 4 times. He's a $300 million dude. You tell me he missed a bunch of shots? Okay, that happens. That, I agree. But not wanting to get involved, that's a personal thing. He's just scared. He don't want that.
So, I mean, I think the people are happy that we have this finals matchup because the Thunder started becoming hated. Obviously, you have a whole board game called Unethical Hoops, which is like Operation with SGA with the foul bait. And so, I mean, I'm not a fan of either of these teams. I'm not going to make that. I mean, obviously, if the Knicks win, I can say my team took 2 wins off of them. But, I mean, what do y'all think is the biggest storyline headed into this finals? The first time these two teams are meeting at this stage since '99, first time Knicks are at this stage since '99. What's the biggest storyline? Do you think that's what it is?
Wemby's youth is probably the biggest storyline right now. Just him elevating them to this position at this stage in his career.
First playoff.
Yes, becomes a very big storyline if they win. If they lose, the storyline becomes the veteran leadership of the Knicks and the way that they built that team around their style of play.
And the city of New York. I mean, this is going to go crazy. You're going to probably have to call the National Guard for that parade of how it's going to be.
If they win or lose, no matter what.
You got to call it no matter what.
This is a long time coming. I don't like the Knicks. I don't. But like I said on this program, I kind of respect the journey that they've taken to be here because we've all seen where the Knicks were bad. And then I remember watching the Carmelo Anthony days and even going back to the Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell days. Those teams weren't good. The Eddie Curry days, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm happy for them in a way to be at this moment. I can't. I don't know, man. I can't rock with him. I can't be fully happy for him.
To be fair, Latrell did not choke out a Knicks coach.
What, PJ Carlesimo?
Yeah, he did it when he wasn't with the Knicks.
Oh yeah.
But he will choke a coach out. But yeah, you're right. You're talking about from Allen Houston. The glory days, obviously, for us old heads is the Patrick Ewing, John Starks days. Those are the glory days from back in the day with the Knicks.
You said John Starks. Remember, he underperformed when the Knicks had it.
John Starks is not John Starks was a role player for the Knicks. He was not a superstar.
Wouldn't you say he was like their second best player back then?
Nah, I don't know if I'd say that. John's from Tulsa. I know John Starks. He went to Booker T. I've had several conversations with John. I think John was an amazing player. But to say that his bad performance is the same as Chet Holmgren's is not even close.
Wow.
It's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, has John Starks ever made an All-Star?
I think so. I'd have to look. I mean, I won't
Chet's
speak
a
out of
one-time
turn.
All-Star, so I was like, All-Star not showing up in the bright lights. It happens. It happens. But anyway, get back to your point, Ruben. You mentioned John Starks. I had to say it.
So I was just saying that the Knicks have, you can really appreciate how far they've come. If you're a Knicks fan, you can appreciate how far they've come because of all of the I wouldn't say superstars, but stars that have come through the Knicks who haven't been able to take them to that level. Carmelo Anthony was the last superstar through there. But you've had the Allen Houstons of the world and the John Starks of the world, who were all really good players who still couldn't take them to that level. And so to see him doing it now, I think it's really fun for a Knicks fan. If you're a Knicks fan, you got to be excited.
Absolutely. I would say that kind of what Ruben said, seeing Wembanyama at age 22 take this team to the finals, it's definitely a passing of the torch when it comes to what you look at and whose league this is. We were talking about maybe Anthony Edwards or Wembanyama.
Nah, it can't be Ants.
I think at age 22, taking your team to the finals, and if they win,
Yeah.
I think that people are looking at this like, wow, like we thought that he would be here, but he's here now type
Year
of thing.
3.
Year 3, he was hurt last year, and this kid is 22, excuse me, and the future of the NBA, OKC, you can kiss that, but people are going to have to make some adjustments. The kid's 22.
Well, the truth is the league will adjust, right? So the league will adjust to him. They'll teams that know they have to face him in the playoffs will get bigger. They'll find defenders to at least create havoc for him in some way, shape, or form. But the league has been looking for a Wemby. Man, they've been searching ever since that era where you had like Steph Curry and all those guys that were kind of that fresh face of the NBA. They didn't get in trouble. They were just getting buckets, and you could have them on cereal commercials. The league hasn't had that since those guys have started to fade away. James Harden was not a guy you could have on commercials all the time, right? Because everybody knows what he does when he leaves the game, right? They know where he goes. But Ant can't be that guy because Ant wants to pay child support and never see his kid, Say like Ant's not that guy. And SGA isn't really that guy for the league because people don't like the flopping and the way he plays.
Yeah.
And so the league has been begging. They were hoping that old boy that's with the Mavericks, #1 pick last year.
Flag.
They were hoping Cooper Flag could be that kind of guy, clean cut.
He still can.
But Wemby right now is I think that they're really big because he's so unique. You can sell that anywhere.
But the big thing is he's international, which means we still don't have that American guy.
Yeah.
Which is why I say Cooper Flag
could still
be that guy because Cooper Flag, Rookie of the Year.
We're not going to have that American guy for a pretty long time.
Well,
Cooper Flag is your next closest thing.
Cooper Flag, yeah.
And then this draft, you're right. You've got so much hype in this draft.
Like what we just talked about, it could be a Boozer, it could be a Peterson, it could be a AJ DeBonsa, but all of those guys want to get to this point where they're playing for a gold ball. So which team do y'all think faces more pressure? The Knicks or the Spurs?
The Knicks.
Yeah, I would
think
say
so?
the Knicks as well.
The Spurs are young and dumb and aren't even supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? They got to be playing free. Like, hey, we ain't even supposed to be here yet. Like, they were on a 3-year plan or whatever, and they're ahead of schedule. The Knicks, the clock is ticking a lot faster for the Knicks because the Knicks are older than the Spurs. So the pressure's on the Knicks.
All right, so they're wrapping us quickly. Who do y'all think is going to win this series and how many games?
I would say the Spurs. I would say in 6. I think
Spurs
that
in 6?
I know that we don't have that much time, but I think that the Knicks, they're the real trust the process team. I know that a lot of people look at Philly and they say, wow, Philly, trust the process. Embiid, you never go to the Eastern Conference Finals even. But what we've seen with this Knicks team, time after time again, they've improved a little bit. They fired their coach. And now, obviously, within year 1 with Brown, they're here again. So when it comes to what we expected in terms of the pressure of the fans. I think that New York fans are just happy to be there. I think that Spurs fans are happy to be there. And I think that America is just happy that it's not OKC that's back again, including myself. And I think it's just refreshing because if you look at the play style for both of the teams, Emil and Ruben, we were talking about this earlier, they both play, in the right way, I would say, in terms of defense first, in terms of, creating opportunities and shots for other players and things like that. So.
I know we're running out of time, so I'm going to keep mine tight. I do like the way they play. I like the matchup. I think the Spurs win in 7 because I think the Knicks don't go away. They're not going to just go away. I think they're going to fight to the end.
I echo that point. I got Spurs in 7. The Spurs can drag it out even if they might lose a game. They might lose one of these first 2 games at home, but then as they show that OKC, they'll get it back, And I think if you get it in Game 7, Wemby with all the marbles on the line, I'm trusting him. I'm obviously it's Wemby's crowning achievement. I got him as my Finals MVP. You got would you say Wemby's
it'll be Wemby. It'll be the Finals MVP because even though their supporting cast is so good, at the end of the day, he does make the big buckets when they need him the most. He dropped a 3 late in the fourth quarter in that Oklahoma City game that really kind of created some separation.
If Knicks win, who do you got winning?
Brunson, for sure. That's his team. I mean, he took a pay cut for those guys to be on the team. They called them the Nova Boys. Obviously, they made some trades so that whole entire starting 5 is not there. But 4 of them are, and I would say that team, in terms of their chemistry, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but when they lost and they got eliminated last year, they went to the club and they said Finals 2026. They had a bottle service saying Finals 2026, and they're back and they're at the Finals in 2026. So I would just say that all the pressure is on them too when it comes to obviously having that accomplishment of winning the Finals again, and it's a rematch from 1999, the year that I was born, which makes me kind of feel old.
You ain't but 12 years old out here.
But I would say that it's going to be great hoops regardless, and it's going to be on ABC. So we're excited about that.
That's right. Look at him, shameless plug. You can watch the NBA Finals on ABC 24, but we're going to take a quick break here on the 24th floor. We'll be back after this.